Toastmaster Ritu Manandhar, and she wears various hats. She is a chartered BPPR of North Mandu Toastmaster Club. She is an HR professional consultant who managed HR resources in three national and international organizations in past 8 years. Wow, she's already my inspiration. And and hear this, she has a passion for food, fitness, and traveling. Oh my goodness, that's I'm already starting to become a big fan of her. And check this out. When I asked her about origami, and she said her father had Japanese colleagues, so she was introduced to origami from very early stage, and she used to make origami with various colors, with various designs, and which really has a deep impact and blissful memories of her of the origami. So wow, Damodaran will be doing her level 3 project 3, making connection through networking. So everybody get ready, I present you Toastmaster Ritu Manandar with her speech, Psy Girls Guide to Networking. Psy Girls Guide to Networking, Toastmaster Ritu Manandar. Over to you.
She's so shy that she doesn't speak much. She's an introvert. She should make some more friends. Presiding officer, fellow Toastmasters, and guests, how many of us have heard similar comments made about you when you were growing up? Let me see a raise of hands. Great to see so many hands raised. I'm glad to know that I am not alone. And uh, being true to these comments, given my personality and communication style, I never liked networking events and ran away just from the sound of it. These events were more of what an extroverted person would like, I thought, and I'm sure the people who raised their hands earlier think so as well. But there's so much pressure to network to increase our net worth, don't you think? Which is why I tried my best to attend one or two of these events and was always left wondering, what will I even say in these events? Or how not to make small talk even more awkward than it already is. So did this shy, introverted, polite, and not so little girl grow up and eventually learn how to network? Let me tell you about 3 stories of this girl who, against all odds, knowingly or unknowingly networked through her life. I was in school when the internet technology had just hit Nepal, and me and my friends were hooked onto MSN Messenger and Nepal News chat room. Gone were the days of pen pals. Now we had chat friends from Nepal and abroad. And this is how this shy, introverted and polite girl first started networking with students from other schools of the valley. And surprisingly, I am still in touch with some of them till date. These friends that I made always gave me a different opinion than what I was used to, whether it be news from what's happening in their school or what music to listen to, what college to go to, what restaurants are worth visiting, or what jobs are available. And recently, to the point that I got offered employee discounts from their organizations all the way from Canada. Secondly, being an HR professional, you're always expected to be a people's person. And if you aren't, you get comments like, what's wrong with her? She isn't fit to be an HR. I tried myself to become this person that everyone expected me to be. Fake it until you make it, they say. And I think I took this a little bit too seriously. Later, I was known as the young female HR leader, and everyone started to add me on Facebook every day. And I still get messages and comments from my previous colleagues, and I'm filled with gratitude. One day, a student from KU-SOM had come for an internship in the HR department, and she and I shared workloads. And due to our similar interests and educational background, we connected so well from day one. Fast forward to 6 years later, we were still very good friends. And then we were leading HR departments for 2 different companies. And that is how, fellow Toastmasters, I found the co-founder of my new HR consulting firm. Lastly, being the daredevil that I sometimes am, I went to give my first non-virtual speech in a Toastmasters club where I knew nobody. I don't remember how my speech went, but what I do remember is that 2 guests came up to me after my speech and they said, "I heard that you're an HR from your introduction. I'm an HR as well. I loved your speech. I could connect to the fear and excitement of traveling to an unknown destination." And that was it. We couldn't stop talking during the break, and then later took a selfie together, and then we which progressed to being friends on social media, and then we had dinner together in a few weeks, and then I oriented them about my Toastmasters club, and they finally joined my club, leading me to receive the District 41 Smedley Challenge Silver Award. Even today, we are still connected in that group chat that we created on day 1 and are each other's biggest supporters. A big shout out to Toastmaster Sanjana and Hira, who are there in the audience today as well. Talking about other wonders of networking in Toastmasters, as a BPPR, I came across so many people from various clubs that I got to know in a very short amount of time. Some I connect on a weekly basis to talk about life, love, career, and sometimes speeches. Some even so generous to write blogs for my organization regarding their experience as employees during COVID and lockdown. All in all of those relatives and teachers who made those comments when I was a little girl would have never imagined that I would one day and be giving a speech in front of so many people, let alone about networking. I look back and I know that I wasn't the one who went to everyone and talked to everyone in the room. In fact, sometimes I just had to be in the room, and people came to talk with me themselves. Not every meeting or occasion will be named networking events, but your life will always be full of networking opportunities left, right, or center. People will come and go in our lives every other hour, but with your luck and initiation, those people might just stay and change your life for the better. But first, the decision to come out of your comfort zone will always be yours. So, fellow Toastmasters and guests, how many of you are willing to connect with me today? Let me see a raise of hands. Please do add me on LinkedIn. Over to you, Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ritu Manandar. Really, network leads to net worth. Amazing. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ritu Manandar.
So talking about Toastmaster Ritu's speech, I could totally relate with his speech because I think we grew up in the same era where we, after SLC and we started chatting and we started networking with people outside our class, outside our school. We started broadening our horizons. I think I could totally relate with your speech because of that very relatability factor. That was the first thing that I would like to comment, that it was very relatable, and I could, when I saw around in the video, I could see that people were interested in, what you were going to speak next. So I think that audience that you had captured was good. The second thing that I would like to mention regarding the good part of your speech would be something that you had asked me to, thoroughly go through, that is your pace. And I noted that your pace, when you're really excited about and very happy about sharing about all those things, about networking and about meeting that person, that intern who converted into your business partner, all those happy moments, you're really into about it, you're really hyper. So I think that really created a very, you're very happy about it. So that pace was managed between those moments, and those were where you were slightly neutral about things. So I think that note that it was pretty well balanced in terms of your pace. The third thing that I really liked about your speech was how it flowed from, how it's all started, from how you were shy and how you started networking, and then how it progressed on to your present day career. So I think that whole cycle that you mentioned is something that the content part of it was something that I really liked. In terms of the exact pointers that I have been asked to look over, like the vocal variety, the clarity part, the only thing that I had noted as a comment was slightly the camera angle. I think it was you wanted to give a more horizontal, you're standing a little far away from the camera. So I think the positioning could have been better because it's a virtual setting. Otherwise, I think overall, whatever it was that I had to evaluate you on and what you wanted me to evaluate on, I didn't feel that there were major points that I could note except the camera angle, and and of course that there could be some points where you could mention how it has helped, except for your career, it has helped your personality, maybe how it could have helped your change in personality or something like that, if you could have added, because I was personally expecting something like that, maybe because of that. Otherwise, uh, as per this speech criteria, it was a good one. Congratulations on completing your this level speech. Over to you, Toastmaster Nath.